Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Wednesday, the 9th of August. India celebrates the 75th anniversary of historic milestone in freedom struggle. Hundreds of hostages freed after rare joint IS-Taliban attack in Afghanistan. And elephants parade through streets of Sri Lanka in annual festival. And now for all the details. 3 terrorists of al-Qaida cell were killed in an encounter by Indian security forces in Tral town of Indian Kashmir. In a separate incident, 5 militants were gunned down by security forces as they foiled an infiltration bid along the de facto border in Kupwara district.
Three militants were killed in an encounter by security forces in an operation in Pulwama district of northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Wednesday. All the 3 militants were members of Zakir Musa-led al-Qaida group. The operation was launched jointly by the Indian Army, police and the paramilitary forces.
And in the meantime, the operation is still on because there are chances of one more militant in the area, so search operation is still on. Let us see.
In a separate incident, 5 militants were gunned down by troops as they foiled an infiltration bid in Kupwara district of the province on Wednesday. Security forces have also recovered huge quantity of arms and ammunition and also ration medicines with Pakistan marking.
Moving on, the Indian Parliament on Wednesday commemorated the 75th anniversary of the Quit India movement and paid homage. The movement was launched by iconic freedom fighter Mahatma Gandhi on 8th August 1942, demanding an end to the British rule of India.
The Rajya Sabha or upper house and the Lok Sabha or lower house of the Indian Parliament on Wednesday held a special session to mark the 75th anniversary of the Quit India movement. Parliamentarians paid homage and remembered the iconic day in the history of Indian freedom struggle. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke in the lower house and hailed the leaders who collectively achieved freedom for the country. He also invoked their struggle and sacrifice.
Mahatma Gandhi ne नारा दिया था, करो या मरो. उस समय का सूत्र था, करेंगे या मरेंगे. आज 2017 में 2022 को भारत कैसा हो, संकल्प लेकर के अगर चलना है तो हम लोगों को भी हम सब मिलकर के देश से भ्रष्टाचार दूर करेंगे और करके रहेंगे. हम सभी मिलकर गरीबों को उनका अधिकार दिलाएंगे और दिलाकर रहेंगे.
The Quit India movement or the India August movement was launched by iconic freedom fighter Mahatma Gandhi on 8th August 1942, demanding an end to British rule in India. After the Cripps mission, Gandhi made a call to do or die in his Quit India speech delivered in Bombay, presently known as Mumbai. After a long struggle, India got freedom from the British rule on 15th August 1947, with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru as the first Prime Minister who hoisted the national flag on the Red Fort.
More news from India. Protesters belonging to the Maratha community in India's western Maharashtra province on Wednesday took to the streets holding a silent rally. They're demanding reservations in jobs and education sector.
Thousands of protesters belonging to Western India's Maratha community poured into Mumbai on Wednesday to press for their reservation demands. Disrupting traffic and straining the railway network, members of the Hindu warrior community waved saffron flags in a peaceful and silent protest rally to demand reserved quotas in government jobs and colleges. The city's famed dabbawalas, who deliver packed lunches to hundreds working in offices across Mumbai, suspended operations for the day, as did schools in the affected area.
हम उन्हीं मुद्दों पर अड़े हुए हैं कि आरक्षण के मुद्दे पे हमारे जो मराठा बांधव है जो परसेंटेज लेके भी उनको कॉलेजेस में स्कूल्स में एडमिशन्स नहीं मिल पा रही है, वही मोर्चे का हम लोग निकालने का वही मकसद हमने निकाला हुआ है, यही हम लोग करना चाहते हैं आज।
This is the 58th march, exactly a year after the first such protest was held in Aurangabad city, organized by the Marathas, mostly an agrarian community, to press its demands. The protest comes as rising unemployment and falling farm incomes are driving farming communities across India to redouble calls for reservations in jobs and education.
In news from Afghanistan, more than 200 residents of a village in northern Afghanistan were released, the provincial governor's office said in a statement on Tuesday. The residents were taken hostage following a coordinated attack by a group of militants.
The Taliban released 235 hostage of Mirza Olang village in Afghanistan Saripul province, who were taken hostage following a coordinated attack by Islamic State insurgents. The residents were released after mediation by local elders, the provincial governor's office said in a statement on Tuesday. This comes few days after Taliban and the Islamic State fighters reportedly launched an attack on the village, killing over 50 people and taking hostage hundreds more. According to the statement, the commando troops have arrived in Saripul from air and ground and will soon clear the insecure parts of the province in Afghanistan's north. Meanwhile, families who have fled to the provincial capital say they are living lives of misery following clashes in the area. President Ashraf Ghani on Tuesday condemned the incident and called it a crime against Afghan civilians.
Meanwhile, Gilgit-Baltistan is among the ultimate tourist destinations with its picturesque landscapes and cultural diversity. However, the tourism sector in the region has failed to realize its true potential under the illegal occupation of Pakistan.
The remote Himalayan region of Gilgit-Baltistan is home to diverse flora and fauna and features stunning valleys and crystal blue lakes. Tourism is one of the main revenue generators in Gilgit-Baltistan. However, the government has failed to develop the region to make it more tourist-friendly. The few tourists who visit Hunza Valley in Gilgit often complain about improper infrastructure and lack of basic facilities.
तो हमें यहाँ पे काफ़ी किल्लत है रेस्ट हाउसेस की, गेस्ट हाउसेस की, और रोड साइड वॉशरूम्स की अवेलेबिलिटी बिल्कुल नहीं है। आप एक जगह से क्रॉस करके जाते हैं तो दूसरी जगह बहुत डिस्टेंस तक आपको प्रॉब्लम आती है वॉशरूम्स की, जिसमें कि जो बुजुर्ग लोग हैं वो डिस्टर्ब होते हैं।
Internet access, unmetalled roads and lack of proper information system are some of the many reasons responsible for the drop in the number of tourists coming to Gilgit-Baltistan.
उसके अलावा मैं ये कहूँगा कि जो साइड पे जितने भी पिकनिक पॉइंट्स हैं, जैसा कि हॉपर है, सही है, जहाँ पर गोल्डन पीक, रश लेक वगैरह, वहाँ पर रोड मेटल नहीं है, जिसकी वजह से ज़्यादातर टूरिस्ट वहाँ पे नहीं जा सकते हैं। इसके लिए महकमे टूरिज़्म को चाहिए अपना इनपुट दे दें और साइन बोर्ड्स होने चाहिए हर जितने भी फिक्स पॉइंट है वहाँ पर, क्योंकि इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम यहाँ पर नहीं है इंफॉर्मेशन।
Years of continued neglect by Islamabad and a corrupt administrative system has made Gilgit-Baltistan one of the most backward regions under Pakistan's rule.
Moving on to news from Sri Lanka, people gathered on the streets of Sri Lanka to mark the end of one of the oldest and grandest of all Buddhist festivals of the country. The 10-day-long ancient festival features dancers, jugglers and lavishly decorated elephants.
Thousands of people lined up the streets of Sri Lanka's ancient hill capital Kandy to witness the spectacle of the Isala Perahera festival. The colourful procession involves lavish performances of dancers, drummers, fire acrobats and colourfully decorated elephants. It is celebrated annually to honour the sacred tooth relic of Buddha, which is carried on the back of one tusker. The century-old parade is about 2 miles long and begins at the Temple of the Tooth, otherwise known as Sri Dalada Maligawa. The festival lasts for 10 nights, ending on the evening of the full moon.
Meanwhile, in Nepal, the Himalayan nation celebrated the annual cow festival with fervor on Tuesday. On this day, people dress up as cows to commemorate family members who have died in the past year.
People gathered in Nepal capital Kathmandu's Darbar Square on Tuesday to mark the Gai Jatra festival, also known as the procession of cows. Nepal's LGBT community also joined hundreds of participants for the festival, as it is considered an opportunity to freely express themselves. Traditionally, families who have lost a relative during the past year lead a cow in the procession. Some also dress a boy as a cow to make sure their lost loved one has a place in heaven.
गाईको महत्त्व भन्दा फेरि हामी किन पहिलेदेखि चलेको चलन हो यो हैन अब हाम्रो बोके धेरै वर्षगादेखि चलेको चलन किनभने अब जुन घरमा चाहिँ अब दुःख परेको छ त्यस घरमा चाहिँ अब घरमा चाहिँ कुनै दुःख कुनै दुःख कष्ट नहोस् त्यो दुःखमा चाहिँ कति रमाइलो होस् भन्ने उद्देश्यले चाहिँ यो गाईलाई निकाल्ने गरिएको हो.
During the 17th century, Nepal's ruler King Pratap Mala is said to have invited people to march in costumes and perform stunts and plays in front of his palace. It was done to make his grief-stricken wife smile after the death of their son. The queen eventually smiled and accepted the loss of her son.
Moving on, a Pineapple Fest was organized in India's northeastern Nagaland province on Tuesday. The two-day event is showcasing several variants of the fruit for people to rejoice and is also giving farmers an opportunity to directly engage with the buyers.
A two-day pineapple festival organized in Dimapur city of India's northeastern Nagaland province began on Tuesday. The event, organized by the Central Institute of Horticulture, aims to promote the farmers. Pineapple growers from all over the province have put up their stalls to showcase their products during the fest. The pineapple growers often face major challenges in selling their produce due to the high transportation costs. The event is giving them an opportunity to directly engage with the buyers. Several competitions, including on-the-spot fruit peeling, slicing and presentation, have been organized as part of the event.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsia Newsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsia Newsline. Well, that's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow.